Welcome back to Snippet Coder, and we are back with another video, and this is the 16th episode of our NodeJS Grocery app series. And in this video we will integrate our order API with the Stripe API for the payment gateway and all. So this is our application, and here we have that proceed to checkout. So if you click here, you can see here we are getting the payment screen, and here we have the total amount, then we have the card holder name, and then we have the card number, then we have the valid until, and then we have the CVV number. So here we will put the informations, and here we will put the card number. Here we will put that month and year. First we will put the incorrect, and here we will put CVV number. Now if I click on the proceed to confirm, here we are getting the error message that is our card expiry year is invalid. So here if I change the expiry year, and here we will put the invalid CVV number. Now if I click on the proceed to confirm, you can see here we are getting your card security code is invalid. So now if I put the valid number here, if I click on the proceed to confirm, so here it is showing the confirmation for that Stripe payment and all. So now if I click on a close, so here you can see that payment is successful, and we are getting here your order has been placed. You will receive an email shortly, and here we are getting the image and go to store link, and if I click here, we will go to the dashboard here. So before starting the video, if you are new to our channel, subscribe the channel by clicking on the subscribe button and click the bell icon to get notified about our latest videos. Thank you. So in our Flutter application, we are going to use this plugin, and the name of the plugin is Flutter_Stripe. So basically we are only going to use the particular segment of this plugin that is for the confirm payment. So that will be required in the case of if we have any 3D secure cards, credit card. In that case, this plugin will be very helpful. If that will be not the case, then we don't need any such plugin. We can only do everything from the Node.js itself. So but for that purpose, we have to use this plugin. So the documentation is very simple. You just have to copy this plugin and have to paste in our application. So let's move to the Flutter application. So here we have our application, and from here we will go to the pub spec, and here I will add the plugin. So when we add this plugin, so here we are getting the error because we have to also update our freeze version also, and here we will change it to 2.1.0, and same we have to do in the dev dependencies also, and we have to make it as a 2.1.0 plus 1, and we will save it. So now you can see there is no error. So let's proceed further, and now we will go to our config file, and there we have to add one more API endpoint for our orders, and we will put a static constant string order API is equal to API/order, and we will save it. So now we have to create our model file also, and for that we have to go to our model folder. There we will create new file that will be order_payment.dart file, and here we have to add the part order_payment.freeze.dart. Then we have to add for order_payment.g.dart. After that we have to put the annotation for the freeze. Then here we have to make the abstract class order payment with $$ order payment. Here we have to get the factory order payment, and we have to create all the variables. First one will be required field, string type of Stripe customer ID, then we have required string type of card ID, then we have required string type of payment intent ID, then we have required string type of order ID, then we have required string type of client_secret, and here we will put is equal to _order payment. Here we will write factory order payment dot from JSON map string dynamic JSON _$ order payment from JSON. This will be a method name. Here we put JSON. Now we have to run the command. Here we will run the command. So here we are getting the error because we forgot to import the class here, and we will save it, and now we will rerun the command. So now our model file has been generated, this one. So now we have to add the function in our API service file, and for that we have to open our API service file. Here we have API_service.dart file, and here we will create the function. First one will be future type of map string underscore a comma dynamic, and here we will write the name of the function that is process payment, and we will make this function as async here, and we have to pass some of that variables, card holder name, then we have card number, then we have card expiry month, then we have card expiry year, then we have our card CVC number, then we have amount here. Here we will get that login detail from our shared service so that we can pass that token in our headers, authorization header. Here we will write where login details is equal to await shared service dot login details. Here we will write our request headers, string type of string request headers is equal to, first one will be content type application / JSON. Then we have authorization basic. Here we have login details dot data dot token dot toString. Then here we have to create the variable for the URL where URL is equal to URI dot HTTP, and here we have config dot API URL. Then here we have the endpoint, and we will write here config dot order API. Here we will create one more variable where response is equal to await client dot post request, and here we will do the post request. Here we have the headers. We will pass here request headers. Then we have the body here, and we will pass here JSON encode, and the first one will be our card underscore name, and we have to make sure the name will be same as we did in our last video regarding this one, the API calling and all for the process payment, and we have to make sure we are putting the correct name. So if you have not watched that video, you can watch the video. I will put the link in the description. Here we will pass card holder name. Then we will have card underscore number. We put here card number. Then we will have card underscore expiry month. Here we put card expiry month. Then we will have card underscore expiry year, and we will put here card expiry year. Then we have our card underscore CVC number, and here we will put card CVC. Then we have our amount, and we'll put here amount. And here we have to create one more variable, and type will be map type of string dynamic, and the name will be response model, and we will initialize with the empty object. This will be required. Basically, we in the response we are going to provide two things. One is the message and the second one is the data, because in the case of the error also we have to show that message in our UI. So for that purpose also we have to create here response. Here we will check if response dot status code is equal to 200. Then here we will write where data is equal to JSON decode response dot body, and here in the response model we will assign the objects variables. First one will be the message, and we will write here success. Then we have response model data, and from here we will pass order payment dot from JSON, and we will pass here data, and here we will write data. In the else if condition, we will check if the response dot status code is equal to 401. That means the token is expired or token is not valid. Then we will redirect user to login page, navigator key dot current state dot push name remove and until. Here we will write /login. In the else condition, we will have where data is equal to JSON decode, or we can just copy from here and we'll put here, and from here we will copy this message and we'll put here, and here we will write data message. So whatever the message we are getting from the UI, from the API, we will show in the UI, and from here we will just return here response model. So what we did here, we have just created one function with the name process payment. There we have the parameters cardholder name, number, expiry month, expiry year. Then we have the card CVC, then we have the amount. Then here we are just getting the login details from our shared service. Then we are just getting the request header with the content type and the authorization with the basic token we are passing here. Then we have our URL with the API URL. Then we have our order endpoints. Then we are just calling here client.post request with the headers and the URL. Then in the body we are just passing this JSON encode with the card number, card name, card number. Then we have the card expiry month, then we have the card expiry year, then we have the card CVC, then we have the amount. And from here we are checking if status code is 200. That means we got the data. Then we are just getting this response model with the message and the data. Data we are just picking from our order payment dot from JSON. Then we have our else if condition we are checking here. If it is 401 status code, then that means the session expired or token is invalid. In that case, we are redirecting user to our login page. After that, in the else condition, we are just getting the message from the response, and that message we are assigning in this response model, and from here we will return response model. Now we have to create one more function. That for creating that, we have to just copy this function and we have to paste here. Here name of the function will be update order and return type will be bool question mark, because we have to make it as a nullable here. In the parameter we will pass here order ID, then we have the transaction ID, and here we will change it to put request because we have to update the order. In the JSON encode we have to just pass here order ID, we will map here. Then we have the status, and status we will put here by default as a success. Then we have the transaction ID and we will map it with our transaction ID, and rest of the parameters are not required, we will remove. Here we will just remove this response model. In the success we will just return here true, and this one is also not required, we will remove here. In the else condition we will return here false. So what we did here, we have just passed 3 parameters in the put request, that is order ID, status, then we have the transaction ID, and we are doing here client.put request. Then here we are just checking if the status code is 200, then we are returning here true. In the case of 401 we are returning user to the login page. In the else condition we are just returning here false. So now let's move further and we will create our Riverpod statement for the order payment and all by calling these API functions so that we can access that statement in our UI. So now we have to create our Riverpod statement for the order creation and all, and for that we have to go to our folder. Here we have application folder, inside that state folder, and we have to create a new state here. We will write here order underscore product underscore state dot file. Here we will write path order underscore payment underscore state dot freeze dot, and here we will put the annotation for the freeze, and we will make the class here order payment state with underscore dollar order payment state, and we will import here, and here we will write constant factory order payment state, and here we have order payment, and we will get the parameter for order payment response model. Then we have the default value false, and we have bool type of is loading. Then we have the same for next variable, that is success. Then we have that default empty string type of message. So here we have the response, whatever the response we get when we call our process payment API, and here we have the loading. We have to show the loader on the basis of this loading variable. Once we start our process payment, we will make the loader as a true. Once the payment is successful, we will make it as a false. Then we have the is success. If our payment confirmation is success, then we will make it as a success. Then we have the message here, and this will be used for getting all the messages which we are getting from the APIs. Then here we will put underscore order payment state, and from here we will generate a command to generate these files. We are getting the error here because we give the wrong name here, and it should be order underscore payment. Now we will rerun the command again. So now we get the successful generation of the file. Now we will move further and we will create a notifier file here, and we will put the file name as a order underscore payment underscore notifier dot file. Here we have to create class order payment notifier extends state notifier, and we have to pass the state here order payment state. Then here we have to create the variable for our API service underscore API service. Then here we have to create a constructor order payment notifier, and we have to pass this underscore API service super constant order payment state. So here we have to create one function, and that function will be used for processing the payment with our NodeJS API and all. And here we will write function void type process payment, and we have the parameters like card holder name, then we have card number, then we have card expiry, then we have card CVC, then we have amount, and we will make this function as async here. Here we will change the state dot copy with, and we will change the state for our is loading true. Then here we have to split the card expiry date and year, and we will get one variable card expiry is equal to card expiry dot toString dot split slash, and here we will call final order payment response data is equal to await underscore API service dot process payment, and here we will write card x with bracket 0. That means first variable will be our expiry month, then we have the expiry year, and this should be future, not the function. And after that we will check, we will assign the state for that message, and we will write here state dot copy with message, and message we will get from here order payment state response data message. Then we have state is equal to state dot copy with is success false, because success will be only done when we have that confirmation and all. And here we will check if order payment response data is not equal to null, then here we will get one variable order payment is equal to this data as order payment. Then we will assign the state of that order payment. State is equal to state dot copy with order payment response model is equal to this order payment. After that we have to call our Stripe API, and here we will create the response. Stripe response is equal to await Stripe dot instance, and we have to import the Stripe here. And before that we have to go to our main.dart file also, and here we have to assign the Stripe dot publisher key, and we have to put the publisher key here. And after that we have to call await Stripe dot instance dot apply settings. So what it will do, it will apply the publisher key in the main.dart file. So whenever we use the Stripe plugin in our application, we don't need to provide the publisher key, and it will be automatically set. And here we have dot confirm payment. So here we have to pass two things. First one is our order payment dot client secret, which we are getting from the Node.js. Then we have the payment method params dot card from method id, and here we have payment method data, and we will pass here payment method data card from method, and we have to pass here payment method id, and we will pick from the payment order payment dot card id. So what it will do, it will just call our confirm payment, and if there will be any 3D card score on that card, it will show the confirmation and or the message, and on the basis of that confirmation it will give us the result success or failure. And here we will check if Stripe response dot status is equal to payment intent status dot success. Then here we will get the response is equal to await, and we will call our API service function for updating our order, and we will pass here order payment dot order id, and here we have to pass the transaction id, and we will write here Stripe response dot id, and we will check here if response we are getting. Then we will change the state for our status. State dot copy with is success true, and after that we have to change the state for our is loading dot copy with is loading false. So what we did here, we have created the function process payment, and we have the parameter for the card holder name, card number, card expiry, then we have card CVC, then we have the amount. Then we are just changing the state for our is loading true. After that we are just splitting the card expiry with the slash sign, and then we are just calling our API service dot process payment, and we are passing here cardholder name, cardholder number, cardholder expiry month, then we have the year, then we have the card CVC, then we have the amount here. After that we have the state here, and we are just changing the message with the whatever the message we are getting from the API. And then we are just changing a state for the is loading to false. Here we have to change it to is success false. And after that, we have to check if we are getting the response data is not equal to null. That means we are getting some data response from our API service. Then we are just getting the variable for the order payment. And after that, we are just changing the state for our order payment response model, and we are assigning it with the data whatever we are getting from the API response. After that, we are just calling our stripe.instance.confirm payment, and here we are just passing the order payment.client secret. Then we are passing the payment method parameter with the card ID. Then here we are just checking if that status is success. That means we have that payment confirmation in the Stripe. Then we are just updating the order with the order ID. Then we have the Stripe ID. Then we have checking here if the response. Then we are just changing the is success to true, and after that we are just changing the is loading to false. Now we have to go to the provider file, and here we have the provider.dart file. Here we have to create the order payment provider and all, and we have to write here final order payment provider is equal to state notifier order payment notifier. Here we have order payment state. Here we have reference, and we will pass here order payment notifier reference dot watch, and here we have to change it to state notifier provider. Here we have reference dot watch, and we have to pass here API service. So now let's move further, and we will do the integration of our provider and all River provider statement in our UI. So now we will create a new page, and the name of the page will be payment page. And for that we have to go to the pages. Inside that we have to create payment_page.dart file, and we will make it as a stateful widget payment page. And this one we will change it to consumer stateful widget. Here also we will change it to consumer state, and this one we will change it to this page name. And from here we will import material. And from here we have to create some variables, and the first one will be static final global key form state. Global key is equal to global key form state. And after that we have to create string card holder name, and we will initialize with the empty. After that we have to create string card number is equal to empty. Then we have string card expiry is equal to empty. Then we have string card CVC is equal to empty. And here we have to create final order payment model is equal to reference dot watch, and here we have to pass order payment provider, and this will be used for showing the loader and all. And from here we will return a scaffold widget. Here we have app bar, and we will write here app bar title. We have constant text payment. Then we have the body here, and we will write here progress HOD child. We have form key, we will assign here global key, and here we have the child, and we will create that child here underscore payment UI, and we will pass here. Then we have async call, and we will assign with the order payment model dot is loading. Then we have opacity, we will pass here 0.3. Then we have the key, and we will use a unique key. So this is loading in the same which we provide in our order payment provider, and there we are just assigning that loading or not loading. And here in the payment UI we have to pass here build context. Then we have the widget reference ref, and we have to pass both here context and reference. So here we have to create final card provider, and we have to use a card provider because we have to show the total amount and all. We have to put a reference.watch card item provider. Here we will check if card provider dot card model is not equal to null. Then we will go inside, and by default we will show here constant circular progress indicator. And from here we will return single child scroll view, and here in the child we are going to use the column widget, and here we have the children's, Inside the children, we have to pass the first one, that is text visit for total amount. We can do some styling here. Text style. Font weight, we are using here font weight dot bold. Then we have the font size and we are using here 18. Then we have the color and we are using a colors dot black color. Here we can put as a constant. Then we have to give some spacing here. We will use a size box height 15. Then here we will show text visit for showing the total amount, and here we will create $config dot, and we have to import this file dot currency. Then we have $card provider dot cart model dot grand total dot toString, and here we have to import. Then we will do some styling here. Style, we are using here text style. Font weight, we are using here font weight dot bold. Then we have font size, we are using a 25. Then we have the color here and we are using a colors dot green color. After that we have to give some spacing here. Then we have to use our form helper dot input field with label. Here we have to pass the key name and we are using here card holder name. In the label we will put here card holder. In the hint text, or you can say the placeholder, we will put here your name and surname. Then we have the onValidate events. We will check here if onValidate dot is empty. Then we will return here required. In the onSave event, we will assign the value for the card holder name is equal to onSaved dot toString dot trim. Then we will do some styling here. We will show the prefix icon true. Then we have the prefix icon. We will show here constant icon icons dot face icon. Then we have the border radius here and we are using here 10. Then we have the content padding and we are using here 10. Then we have the font size and we are using here 14. Then we have the padding left. We are using 0. Padding right 0. Then we have to give some padding for the prefix icon. I'll put here 10. Then we have the border color and we're using a colors dot gray color dot shade 200. Text color, we are using a colors dot black color. Then we have the prefix icon color and we're using a colors dot black color. Then we have the hint color and we are using a colors dot black color with opacity 0.6. Then we have the background color and we are using a colors dot gray color dot shade 100. Same we have to do for the focus color also, border focus color, and we are using a 200. After that we have to give some spacing and we have to give the credit card number text box also, and we will copy this one and we will paste here, and here we will change it to card number. This one also we will change it to number, and here also we will change it to card number. This one also we will change it to card number, and rest all is same. After that we have to give the spacing here, size box height 15. Then we have to create the row visit here. Here we have the children's, and we have to copy this text box from here. We have to paste here, and here we will change it to valid expiry. Here also we will put here valid until. In the hint text we will put here month/year. This one we will change it to card expiry. Next also we have to copy this one and we have to put here flexible visit, and the child we will put here, and we will change it to CVV. Same here. Here also a variable name we put card CVC. We can change it to CVV also, and rest all is same. After that we have to give the size box here, height 50, and after that we have to give the button here. We are using a center visit. Child we are using a form helper dot submit button. Text we will change it to proceed to confirm. Then we have our on type event. Here we have to put the button color and we are using here colors.blue color. Then we have the border color and we are using a colors.white color. Then we have the text color and we are using a colors.white color. Then we have border radius and we are using a 20. Then we have the width here and we are using a 250. So now we have to add this page in our main.dart file, and we will put here /payments constant payment page, and from the card page we have to redirect to this payment page, and here we will put gesture detector child. We are using here this text, and here we will put on tap event, and from here we will write navigator dot of context dot push name /payments. So now let's run the application to see our page is coming or not. According to that, we will modify our UI and we have to create one more page for the order success. Let's run the application. So here we are getting some issue in our iOS because we use the Stripe plugin, and in the Stripe we have to go to the iOS folder, and there we have port file, and we have to enable this one, uncomment this one, and we have to change it to 12. Now let's save and let's try again. Is it working or not? So here we have our application. We have to log in snippetcoder@outlook. So we are logged successfully. So now if I go to the cart, here we have some of that items here. So now if I click on the proceed to checkout, so here we are getting some error. So let's see what the issue is. So here we have in the lowercase, and there we have added in the uppercase. So let's see, is it working or not? So here we are getting some error. So let's see what the issue is. So this one also we forgot to add in the flexible visit. So let's add in the flexible visit. Let's reload the application to see is it working or not. So it is working fine now. So you can see here we are getting that total amount, then we have the card holder name, then we have the card number, then we have the valid until, then we have the CVV number. So icon we can change according to our requirement. So in the card number we will use credit card icon. Then in the date time we will use here calendar month. Then we have the CVV number, and there we will not show any icon, and the total amount and the label we have to give it in the left hand side. Here we have to put main axis alignment dot start, then we have cross axis alignment dot start. So now you can see, now we have to give some padding here, and we will give it only left padding 10. Same we have to do here also, padding only left 10, and above this we will put here size box height 20. Now space is coming properly fine. So here we have to add one small function for validating our form, and we will write here bool validate and save final form is equal to global key dot current state, and we will check here if form dot validate, then we will call here form dot save, and we will return here true, else we will return here, and by default we will return here false. Now this one we have to call from our proceed to confirm button click, and here if I try to click on the proceed to confirm, you can see we are getting all that validation message, that client side validations, and here we have to create one variable final order payment model is equal to reference dot read order provider dot notifier, and we will put here await order payment, and we have to make this function as async here first, and we have to call here order payment model dot process payment, and this amount we have to pick from cart provider dot cart model dot grand total dot toString, and here we will watch for the value of is success. For that we have to create one variable final order payment response model is equal to reference dot watch order payment provider, and we have to check here if not of order payment response model dot is success. Then we will throw here the error message. We'll pass here form helper dot show simple dialog alert, and the title we will put here config dot app name. Then we have the message, and that message we will pick from order payment model response payment response model dot message. Then we have the button name, we will put here OK. Then we have the on press event, and we will just close our pop-up message. Navigator dot off context dot pop. In the else condition, we will create a new page and we will redirect user to that page. And before that, we will check our validations if those are working fine or not. I will click on the proceed to confirm. So here we are getting the error because we added the invalid valid until date. So let's fix that one. Here we will put invalid card number, and date we will put here /25123. Here we will click on the proceed to confirm. You can see here we are getting the proper validation message from the server, that is card number is not a valid credit card number. And this one CVV, we have to hide the text here, and for that we have to use here obscure text true, and it will make it as a password type. So now let's make a new page and then we will do the final transaction. Here we have to create a new page, that is order success.dart file, and we will make it as a stateless visit order success, and from here we will return scaffold visit. Here we have app bar, and we are using a app bar. Title we are using here constant text visit order success. Then we have automatically imply leading false because we have to hide our back button. Then we have the body here, and we are using a center visit. Here we have the child, and we are using a column visit here. Then we have the main axis alignment, and we are using here main axis alignment dot center. Then we have the cross axis alignment, and we are using here cross axis alignment dot center. Then we have the children's here, and the first one will be the text visit. Your order has been placed. You will receive an email shortly. Then we have to show the image here icons dot celebration icon. Then we have the go to store button, and we will put here center visit. Child we have to put here form helper dot submit button. Go to store. Then we have the on type event, and we have to write here navigator dot off context dot push and remove until, and here we have to put slash because the store in the slash, put remove until, and here we have to change it to push name dot push name and remove until, and here we will put slash, and here we have to give the beaten colors dot green color. Then we have the border color, and we are using a colors dot white color. Then we have text color, and we are using a colors dot white color. Then we have border radius, and we are using a 20. Then we have the width, we are using a 250. So now we will add this page in our main.dart file. Then we will open this page to see the design over there in the UI, and we have to go to the main.dart file. Here we have to copy this one, and we have to paste here, and we will put here order success, and this one we will change it to order success. Now we have to go to our payment page, and here we will change it to navigator dot off context dot push name slash order success. And before that we have to see the UI, and we will just copy this line of code, and we will comment every code here. Now we will put here, and we will click on the proceed to confirm. So now you can see that page is coming, but the UI is not properly coming. And here we have to do some styling here. This one we will put here style, text style, font size 20. Then we have the text align, and we are using it text align dot center. Then we have the font here, and we'll put here size 200. Color, we will use a colors dot orange color, and we will wrap this column widget with our padding. Now the UI is coming properly fine. So now let's uncomment their code and remove this line of code, and we will uncomment this code. Now let's try the final payment and all, and let's see is it working or not. Here we will put the valid information. Here we will put the month. Here we will put the invalid CVV number, and let's see is it working or not. So it is working fine, but we are getting some error. So let's see what the issue is. So in the JSON we are getting this response, but this card ID is not matching with the variable name because D is the smaller case which is coming from the server. Same for the order also, and same for the payment intent ID also. So now let's move to our order payment.dart file, model file, and here we have to do some small modification, and here also we have to lowercase the d, and here also. And let's regenerate this file, and let's reload the application to see is it working or not. So here also we have to do the changes, and this one we will do the lowercase. Same we have to do here also. So now let's reload the application to see is it working or not. So here if I click on the proceed to checkout, and here I will put the valid information 4242. Here I will put 05 and 05, and let's see, it should give us the message card expiry is invalid. So now if I put the valid here, and if I click on the proceed to continue, here we are getting that confirmation from the Stripe. Now if I click on the close, so here you can see the order has been placed. You will be receive an email shortly because we got the success message over there here, and after that we make this is success true, and we land it to our order success page. So that's all in this video. I hope you like the video. This is the last episode of our Node.js e-commerce grocery app series, and in the next video we will learn about how to upload our API in Node.js API in our AWS, and also we can learn about how to upload the images to AWS with the help of that Node.js and all. So I hope you liked the video. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, like, comment, share. I will come back soon with another awesome video. Thank you for watching the video.